The euro, the currency of the Eurozone area, may be going digital. This is a very interesting and very real prospect in the near future. But is it really safe? When is this going to happen? What does it mean for the economy? And if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you a little bit about what it could mean for you and your money. So let's check out today's video. What's up guys? Welcome to Millennials with Money, the channel that helps you take control of your money and create a bright financial future. I'm Johnny, and if you like today's video, hit the like button, click subscribe and turn on notifications and tell another millennial. The euro belongs to Europeans and we are its guardian. We should be prepared to issue a digital euro should the need arise. Those are the words of Christine Lagarde, who is the president of the European Central Bank, which is the central bank of the Eurozone area. The digitalization of the monetary system is already well underway. We've seen currencies such as Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and even Facebook have now issued their own digital money. Other central banks in the world, such as in China, in Sweden, and in Switzerland, have also taken on projects to look at their own digital currency going forward. And now the EU has joined in the race as well and is interested in launching its own digital currency. One of the European Union's key goals is to take advantage of the digitalization going on right now to create a digitalized European society for their people. And now we can only imagine that with this, that a digital currency will become part of that digital society that we'll live in as citizens in Europe. But why does the EU in particular want to be involved in such a project? What benefits do they see for the citizens of Europe, and what do they hope to bring to the economies of the Eurozone by doing so? Well, if you check out their website, you'll see that they list off a few key benefits. One of them being the ease of transactions, able to make transactions quicker and more securely. Two other key reasons that they cite is to do with the protection of the integrity of the Eurozone economy. The report specifically cites pandemics and natural disasters as possible disruptions to the physical traditional monetary system, and having a digital euro would give the economies of the Eurozone something to fall back on and protect the economic and monetary integrity of the euro. And an interesting statistic shows that up to 79% of transactions in the Eurozone still take place in cash. Another way in which they hope to protect the integrity of the Eurozone is by reducing reliance on non-EU payment service providers. So the hope, in theory, is that these payment service providers that will use the digital euro will be based within the Eurozone, thus will be more beneficial to the Eurozone economies. An additional point that I would add is that the European project is facing many challenges today, and I think that this could also be the EU trying to make its mark as a force for good and driving positive change in Europe. So what would a digital euro look like in practice? Well, the EU in its report itself is not really sure. So unfortunately, there's not too much that we can say about what this would look like. But there are a few things that we do know from the report. We do know that the digital euro will belong solely to the European Central Bank, who will be the only institution that will be able to produce this digital currency. This digital currency is also meant to complement physical cash, not replace it. That's to say that you could still have physical euros and digital euros, and the two could in theory be interchanged. That's what I understood when I was reading through the report. Because the European Central Bank is the only issuer of this currency, it is not a cryptocurrency. It is not like a Bitcoin. It has an underlying value, and its underlying value is the euro. And we also know that as the European Central Bank will be issuing it, they will also be the institution in control of how much of this digital currency is in circulation. Now, how they manage this, I don't know, but it'll be very interesting to see. If you go to the report on the digital euro as well, you'll see that there are a list of requirements. I'll not go through them in this video. I'll simply put them on the screen for you to see in summary, and I'll leave the link to the report in the description of this video for you to check out in your own time, should you wish. Now, one of the big questions that you're all probably wondering is, when is this going to take place? When will there be an introduction of a digital euro? So it's good to note that discussions around this have been going on for a while, but have kind of picked up, and there's been more noise around it in kind of the past weeks, and in this week in particular, late in October. That said, the digital euro is actually not a certain thing at this point. There are simply discussions going on and ideas being drafted around it. The Commission, I believe, is going to decide mid-2021, so next year, whether to go ahead with this project or not. And they say that in the case that they do decide to go ahead with it, that it could take a while to implement. So it's a very subjective matter, difficult to say, but I would imagine that if it does go ahead, we could expect the digital euro perhaps in this decade. Who knows? So you've made it to this point in the video. What would a digital euro mean for you and I and our money? So as millennials, we're obviously already into digitalization. We're into money apps, we're into Apple Pay, we're into bank cards. I would be surprised if many of us actually carry that much cash around and pay in cash these days. So a digital euro would perhaps make life easier for us in the sense that we wouldn't have to carry so much cash, to the point where we could perhaps even go completely cashless and operate solely on digital currency. In addition, as easy as it is these days to pay somebody or to receive money via a bank transfer, it can still take up to a few business days to complete the transaction. The talk around this digital euro is that it would be much faster, so perhaps we could see much faster financial transaction operations, maybe even free instant money transfers with a digital euro, who knows, but that would be great. In addition, I think that this is good for the taxman in every country, because in theory, if you digitalize the euro, then you're going to have a record of transactions that are made, and it's going to be much easier to keep tabs on the transfer of money between people, between businesses, and it's going to be much easier to kind of keep tabs on people when it comes to tax avoidance, tax evasion, etc. But there's also talk that this could affect commercial banks negatively. That's because there's a theory that this digital euro could possibly become a safe haven in times of financial difficulties or in times of crisis. So if everyone pulls their money out of the banks into digital euros, then that would mean that these commercial banks, that they lose out on profits and that they'll have less money to work with to be able to generate revenues and make a profit. So the financial service sector could potentially suffer as a result. And there's obviously going to be challenges around security of the digital euro. As much as the talk is about this being a safe and secure digital currency, I'll be very interested to see how they plan to step up security such that it isn't susceptible to such attacks and hacking that goes on with online banking, with investing accounts today. Because in all honesty, cybersecurity is a huge theme today, and I don't think anything is really safe from cyber attacks or hacking. And this may just be my opinion, but is a digital euro really gonna change the way we use our money? Are we really gonna move away from Apple Pay or from our bank cards to use this digital euro? I mean, we don't know what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna be implemented, but in my mind, I honestly struggle to see how it's really that different from all the digital finance and digital money options that we have available today as millennials. Now, as I draw this video to a close, I would like to say that the European Union is obviously a political institution, and regardless of any views that I may have, I've tried to present this in the most politically neutral manner as possible, and I've tried to give my honest, balanced opinion on this digital currency. I'd be really interested to see what you guys think about it, what your thoughts are, what you think the digital euro might look like. So please leave a comment if you have any thoughts, and I'll be sure to check them out. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the Millennials with Money social media and internet pages. I'll see you on the next video, and let's get this money.